Hello everyone, welcome to another module on the renal system. In this module, we will talk particularly about the nephrotic syndrome. Okay, I've already discussed the basic principles of the nephrotic syndrome in our previous video. Now, let me just revise it. What is nephrotic syndrome? It is caused due to podocyte damage, which leads to impaired charge barrier and proteinuria. That means protein is leaked. There is a massive proteinuria with hypoalbuminemia. This hypoalbuminemia leads to edema caused by retention of sodium and water. There is also hyperlipidemia and hypercholesterolemia, which leads to fatty casts. It is associated with decrease in the protein antithrombin 3, which leads to formation of thrombosis, that is a hypercoagulable state. There is a decrease in immunoglobulins, which results in increased risk of infections. So this is the basic of nephrotic syndrome. Now let us talk in specific the various examples of nephrotic syndrome, which are focal segmental glomerulosclerosis, minimal change disease, membranous nephropathy, amyloidosis, and diabetic glomerulonephropathy. Okay, so let us first talk about minimal change disease. This is also known as lipoid nephrosis. Okay, and it is the most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in children. This is very important. If a children presented with symptoms of nephrotic syndrome, it is majorly minimal change disease. Okay, it is often idiopathic. That means the cause is not known, but it is triggered by recurrent infection and immunization or an immune stimulus. So it is basically classified as an 4 I's, that is idiopathic, recent infection, immunization, and immune stimulus. It can be rarely due to a secondary cause, that is lymphoma, which is majorly Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a cytokine cell mediated damage. So what are the findings of minimal change disease? When we view the glomerulus under light microscopy, LM stands for light microscopy, there is normal glomerulus with lipids seen in proximal convoluted tubule. It is caused due to hyperlipidemia or hypercholesterolemia. Immunofluorescence is negative. That means there is no immunoglobulin deposition in the nephron. Hence, there is no immunofluorescence. And there is, when we see the glomerulus in electron microscopy, we see effacement of the podocytes. That means there is flattening of the podocytes. If you can look over here, there is flattening of these podocytes. Okay, so in electron microscopy there is flattening of podocytes. So this is all about minimal change disease. Now let's talk about focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. Focal means a certain section, that is a certain amount of glomerulus. Segmental means even in the glomerulus a certain section of glomerulus is affected, and sclerosis means damage to the glomerulus. Okay, now it is the most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in African Americans and Hispanics. So these help in clinical diagnosis. It can be idiopathic, that is, it is majorly idiopathic, or can be secondary to other conditions such as HIV, sickle cell disease, heroin abuse, massive obesity, interferon treatment, or congenital malformations. Now let us talk about focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. Okay, it is the most common cause of nephrotic syndrome in African Americans and Hispanics. These demographics helps us in identification of clinical case. Okay, it is majorly idiopathic or can be secondary to other conditions in which the immunity decreases. So what are the various conditions in which the immunity decreases? It is the HIV infection, sickle cell disease, heroin abuse, this is very important, massive obesity, interferon treatment, or congenital malformations. The primary disease has inconsistent response to steroids. Okay, the only nephrotic syndrome which responds to steroid is the minimal change disease. the focal segmental glomerulosclerosis barely responds to the steroids, and hence it can progress to chronic kidney disease. So, what is basically focal segmental glomerulosclerosis? Focal stands for some glomeruli, segmental stands for only some parts of those some glomeruli, and there is sclerosis. Okay, so certain part of few glomerulus are affected. Now, what are the findings? In light microscopy, we see segmental sclerosis and hyalinosis. We see segmental sclerosis and hyalinosis. Is it clear? We can see this in the given diagram here. There is hyalinosis over here. Okay. When we check for immunofluorescence, there is negative immunofluorescence because rarely any immunoglobulins are deposited in the glomerulus during focal segmental glomerulosclerosis. But if there is a deposition of IgM, C3 or C1, that is the complements, then it can lead to positive immunofluorescence, but it is majorly negative. Under electron microscopy, we see the same finding as in the minimal change disease, that is the flattening of the podocyte foot processes. Is it clear? Now let us talk about the third nephrotic syndrome, which is membranous nephropathy. Now what is membranous nephropathy? It is majorly seen in children, okay, and in children the prognosis is good. It is also called as membranous glomerulonephritis. Now it can be primarily due to the antibodies produced against phospholipase A2 receptors, or can be caused due to different drugs, that is NSAIDs, penicillin and gold. There are various infections such as HBV virus, HCV virus and syphilis infection which can lead to membranous nephropathy, or autoimmune diseases like lupus. So these are the various causes of membranous nephropathy. Is it clear? Membranous nephropathy is majorly seen in Caucasian adults, and the prognosis is poor. It is the basic thickening of glomerular basement membrane due to deposition of immunoglobulins. Hence, in light microscopy, we see diffuse capillary with glomerular basement membrane thickening. You can look in this diagram, there is thickening of various glomerulus basement membrane. Okay. Now, the immunofluorescence is positive because of immune complex deposition. Now, since there is immune complex deposition in the glomerular basement membrane, it thickens. Now, what is seen in electron microscopy? In electron microscopy, there is spike and dome appearance. This is very important in the questions, okay? This is the hallmark of membranous nephropathy. Now, let us talk about the last two nephrotic syndrome, that is amyloidosis and diabetic induced glomerulonephropathy. Amyloidosis is in itself a very big topic, and I'll cover it in a separate module of general pathology. But the amyloids are proteinaceous substances which are deposited in various systems. If it is deposited in kidney, which is a common site, it is lead to amyloid deposition, that is AL amyloid and AA amyloids. These are various types of amyloids, and it can lead to chronic conditions, that is CKD. Now, this deposition of protein can lead to various kidney complications, and it is detected by apple green bifringence under the polarized light. Okay, there is a apple green bifringence under polarized light. This is due to the deposition of this amyloid in the mesangium. I'll cover amyloids in a separate module. So let us just talk about diabetic glomerulonephropathy. Now, diabetic glomerulonephropathy is the major cause of end-stage renal disease in United States. Okay, it is the major cause of end stage renal disease. Now, what is basically diabetes? Diabetes is hyperglycemia, correct? Now, this hyperglycemia leads to non-enzymatic glycation or glycosylation of tissue proteins, which leads to further mesangial expansion. Okay, when these tissue proteins in the mesangium are enzymatically glycated or glycosylated, it leads to its expansion. Correct? Now, there is glomerular basement membrane thickening and increased permeability. There is also hyperfiltration, which leads to glomerular hypertrophy and glomerular scarring. So, this is majorly caused because of non-enzymatic glycation of tissue protein, which leads to mesangial expansion. There is glomerular basement membrane thickening and increased permeability. There is hypertrophy and scarring of the glomerulus. It further leads to nephropathy. Due to these conditions in the glomerulus, it leads to nephropathy. Now, what is seen under light microscopy is mesangial expansion. We can see over here. The mesangial is expanded, correct? There is glomerular basement membrane thickening. And we see eosinophilic nodular glomerular sclerosis. In this histology of the kidney, in conditions of diabetic glomerular nephropathy, we see a hallmark lesion. Okay, this is, I have pointed with the arrow. These hallmark lesions are called as the Kimmel-Steels-Wilson lesions. Is it clear? So this is all about nephrotic syndrome. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click on the like button and do subscribe to this channel. Let me know in the comment section below which topics do you want me to explain. Thank you.